You know that feeling, that quiet hunch that there's so much more you're capable of, just waiting to be unlocked. Like there's this truly meaningful, maybe even iconic life kind of ready for you to step into. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. Welcome to the deep dive. We're cracking open Robin Sharma's The World Changers Manifesto. And it's not just a book you read, right? It's more like a guide to unleashing what Sharma calls your primal genius and natural heroism.
Okay.
So, our mission here is to distill the core wisdom from this book. It's this potent mix of profound insights, really practical daily habits, and some powerful mindsets. The goal is to help you become what he terms a possibilitarian. And we've got a lot to draw on Sharma's own journey, his studies of these legendary figures, and just a ton of actionable advice to explore.
And what's really compelling, I think, is how Sharma frames this whole journey. He doesn't say you need to acquire greatness. No, he says it's already inside you. It's about a return, reclaiming something innate that maybe we've forgotten or, let the world's noise kind of dim. It's this fundamental shift in perspective,
Mm.
letting go of who you were
Yeah.
to become all you're, destined to be.
Yeah, that idea of a return to greatness, that's right where he starts, and it really grabbed me immediately. He paints this picture of us as kids, eyes sparkling, full of dreams, just connected to our own power. The world felt like this wide open space, just welcoming possibilities.
Limitless.
But then, for so many of us, that spark starts to dim a bit. The doubts from others, the limits we see around us, they kind of quietly become our own beliefs. It's almost insidious how our boldness just starts to fade.
We internalize it.
Exactly. We begin to settle. We accept, average work, maybe minimum health, this scarcity mindset, even less love than we really deserve. And when we see those rare people living like lions, really brave, impactful lives, we tend to label them geniuses or gifted.
Like it's an excuse for ourselves.
Right, instead of recognizing that same potential in us. But Sharma insists, look, there comes a day when you just cannot run from that deep call for greatness anymore. It's not really a choice, it's more like a reclamation. We are, he reminds us, pure possibility. We have minds made for visions, hearts built for love, spirits designed to, well, to wow.
Okay, so if all that potential is truly within us, what's the big roadblock? What holds us back?
Right, and Sharma dives straight into the biggest one we all face, fear. And he doesn't just talk about it abstractly, he shares his own incredibly humble beginnings. No silver spoon, didn't really fit in at school. Was even told by his principal he'd never get into university. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's rough.
But he trusted his gut over the critics. He just relentlessly pursued learning, put in the effort. And later, when he wrote The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, get this, the first editor called it pure garbage.
No way.
Yeah. Literary agents apparently snickered at him. One even insulted him directly. Yet he says his faith was just bigger than his fear. He ended up self-publishing it from a 24-hour copy shop.
Really? A copy shop?
Uh-huh. His mom edited it. His dad helped him sell copies. His very first seminar had 23 people, and he says 21 of them were family.
That's dedication.
But the book just exploded, right? Sold millions globally. It's an amazing story.
That story of his own journey, it's so powerful. It really highlights how rejection is just, well, it's part of the process, isn't it? Which raises a question. Sharma clearly believes facing fear head on is critical. But, for many people listening, that sounds easier said than done. Does he offer any, initial smaller steps for someone feeling totally overwhelmed by their fears? Or is it always about these grand Niki Lauda level confrontations?
That's a great question. And while he definitely emphasizes taking decisive action, he does suggest that actively confronting these fears, internal or external, becomes the very fuel for growth. And he illustrates this with that absolutely gripping story of Niki Lauda, the Formula One champion. So, back on August 1st, 1976, Lauda crashes at high speed. His Ferrari bursts into flames.
Oh, I remember hearing about this. Horrific.
Yeah, trapped for nearly a minute in over 400 degrees Celsius heat. Severe burns. A priest was actually called to give him last rites.
Unbelievable.
His wife apparently fainted when she saw him. Yet, and this is the astonishing part, 6 weeks later, 6 weeks, bloody bandages covering his head, Lauda puts his helmet back on and races in the Italian Grand Prix.
6 weeks.
Finished fourth. It's almost
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Oh, wow. That takes incredible courage.
So from Lauda's comeback, Sharma pulls out 3 really potent lessons. First, you're stronger than you know. He argues inner strength, personal toughness, they aren't gifts. They're qualities forged in the fire of hard conditions. Pushing past your limits actually expands them.
Okay, makes sense. Forged in fire.
Second, get back into the car fast. Lauda admitted he was terrified, absolutely terrified, but he knew the longer he waited, the more that fear would just grow and fester. He felt the pain, faced his demons, and got back in quickly.
So the lesson for us is, when we stumble or fail, get back up. Fast.
Exactly. As Sharma puts it, the place where failure happens is also the place where courage lives. Don't wait. And
Huh?
third, never stop accelerating. For these epic performers, there's no top. The game is the process. One victory just becomes the starting line for the next one. You never coast.
Always pushing forward.
Yeah, and this connects to his broader point that power unused deteriorates, and potential unexpressed turns to pain.
Ooh, that's strong. Potential unexpressed turns to pain.
Think about it this way. That potential you feel deep down. If you don't act on it, Sharma argues it doesn't just sit there dormant, it actively weighs you down. It becomes a source of real discomfort, almost like a debt you owe to yourself.
That's a powerful way to think about it, like an internal pressure.
So, if we're meant to reclaim our greatness, conquer our fears, how do we actually do this, like day to day? Sharma doesn't leave us hanging. He offers this very specific, almost notorious, gargantuan competitive advantage he calls the 5 a.m. club.
Ah, yes, the famous 5 a.m. club.
Now, I know what you might be thinking, waking up at 5 a.m. Sounds disruptive, maybe impossible. And honestly, the first time I heard it, my eyes probably rolled so far back I saw my own brain.
Huh. I can picture that.
But the wisdom behind why he advocates it, that's what really stuck with me. This holy hour from 5000 to 6 a.m., it's a period free from tech, distractions, news, idle chit-chat. It's an hour dedicated solely to you. It's a training practice to prime your mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set.
It's about setting the tone for the entire day.
Exactly. And he acknowledges, look, all change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and beautiful at the end. That's his brain tattoo for habit change. And importantly, research suggests it takes about 66 days, on average, to wire in a new habit until it becomes automatic.
66 days.
Okay.
And that's where the real magic of this routine seemed to lie, right? It's not just about checking boxes at dawn. It's about fundamentally changing how you feel about your day, which, as Sharma says, is your life in miniature.
Yeah.
This hour is about building, what does he call it, a pharmacy of mastery in your brain.
Yeah.
Tapping into your body's natural neurochemicals to create this state of sustained peak performance.
That's precisely it. And the structure of the 5 a.m. club is built around the 20-20-20 formula. So the first 20-minute pocket from 5:00 to 5:20 is move. This means intense physical activity, burpees, skipping, running, whatever gets your heart rate up and makes you sweat.
Kind of blood pumping.
Exactly. And the science backs this up. Intense movement releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Harvard's Dr. John Ratey famously calls it miracle grow for the brain.
Miracle grow for the brain. I like that.
Yeah. It repairs brain cells damaged by stress, accelerates learning, regenerates neural connections. Plus, you get dopamine that's inspiration and serotonin that's pleasure, which explains why you feel energized and happy afterwards. And it boosts your metabolism, even helps reduce cravings later.
So lots of benefits packed into 20 minutes.
Totally. Then the second pocket, from 5:20 to 5:4, is reflect. While the world's still asleep, your brain's buzzing from the movement. This is your time for solitude. Deep thinking, planning, journaling. Sharma suggests journaling is like a morning meditation on paper. Helps release toxic emotions, map out your dreams.
Clearing the mental clutter.
Yeah. He points to Nelson Mandela spending 18 years on Robin Island and suggests part of what made him so extraordinary was that opportunity for profound solitude and reflection. Massively creative people, he notes, consistently value this quiet time alone.
Makes sense. You need space to think.
And the final pocket, 5:40 to 6:00, is learn. Sharma really emphasizes that the job of the leader is to grow. This is dedicated time for game-changing learning. So listening to audiobooks, reading physical books, he says his home is filled with them taking online courses, or even turning your commute into Traffic University with valuable podcasts and audiobooks.
Traffic University. Love it.
Right. He says don't focus on the cost when investing in learning, focus on the value received. For the price of a coffee, you can get a lifetime of wisdom from history's greatest minds. This consistent daily learning, he argues, helps you own your days.
So move, reflect, learn. 20 minutes each. That's the core structure.
That's the 20-20-20 formula within the 5 a.m. club hour. Okay, moving beyond the daily habits. Sharma offers this really fascinating strategic approach to mastery. He calls it the 7,000 Ferraris philosophy.
7,000 Ferraris. Okay, explain that one.
Well, the metaphor comes from Ferrari, the car company. They produce only about 7,000 cars a year. They consciously choose deep, singular excellence over wide appeal and mass production.
Focus. Quality over quantity.
Exactly. The wisdom here is profound. Why go really wide when you can be singularly deep? This is how great companies, and more importantly, great people, rise to that iconic status.
That idea of singular focus,
hmm
man, it immediately brings to mind how fragmented our attention is today.
Yeah.
So much noise. Sharma's 7,000 Ferraris philosophy feels like a direct antidote to that constant digital buzz, that addiction to distraction he talks about. He argues we often just diffuse our precious trinity of peak performance assets, that's your mental focus, physical energy, and willpower,
Yeah.
across way too many things. This philosophy is about adopting a kind of minimalism in your work, in your life even, concentrating those assets on just a few crucial priorities to really birth art into the world, as he puts it.
Exactly right. He gives these powerful examples like Khalil Gibran, who carried the Prophet with him for 5 years, meticulously refining every single word instead of just churning out 100 books.
5 years on one book. Wow.
Yeah. Sharma suggests you consider choosing just, say, 3 major projects over 50, or focus deeply on one online course and one great autobiography instead of trying to skim 20 books superficially. It's about bringing rigor to your game, doing one thing epically well, and becoming world-class by focusing your powerful assets on just a select few priorities.
Less is more, but the less has to be exceptional.
That's it. Now, Sharma also really emphasizes the profound impact of our environment, particularly our social network.
Oh, the people around us.
Yeah. He talks about concepts like attitudinal contagion and mirror neurons, how the mindsets and behaviors of our friends can subconsciously become our own. He even cites the famous Framingham Heart study. It found that if your social orbit includes obese people, you have a significantly higher chance of becoming obese yourself.
Whoa, that's startling evidence for you are who you hang out with.
It really underscores the importance of choosing your peer group carefully, doesn't it? So he offers some concrete advice on picking your social network. First, he says bluntly, delete the energy vampires.
Energy vampires. Gotta love that term.
Yeah, those people who just de-energize you or maybe no longer align with where you're heading. People who were right for you a year ago might not be today.
Growth means sometimes outgrowing connections.
Right. Second, he advises, trust your instinct. He shares his own story again, leaving a successful law career for writing and speaking. Made no rational sense to others. They laughed, questioned him, but he trusted that inner pull, and it led to his greatest fulfillment.
Listening to that inner voice.
And finally, he advises, speak your truth, even when your voice shakes. This fosters authenticity. When you do this inner work, he says, the people who no longer fit your life will naturally just walk away, or you'll walk away from them. And the beautiful outcome, he suggests, is that new people at your new level of insight, wisdom, mastery, they'll simply start showing up. You assemble a new social network that reflects your growth.
That's a crucial insight. Because it's not just about who you spend physical time with, right?
Yeah.
It's also about what you consume, the information, the media, which raises an important question for you listening. How do we apply these insights to actively curate all our influences, ensuring our entire social orbit, books, podcasts, media, is truly fueling our longevity and not, hindering it?
Yeah.
It's a continuous process, isn't it?
It absolutely is a continuous curation, and Sharma strongly reinforces this game-changing lust for learning. He asserts that education is inoculation against disruption.
Education is inoculation against disruption. Powerful.
Yeah, he talks about how to add 100 years to your life, not literally, of course, but by exposing yourself constantly to the world's best ideas. He means literally having figures like Gandhi, Mandela, Musk, Picasso living in your home through their biographies, their works.
Through books, basically.
Exactly. He encourages attending live learning events every few months, subscribing to online programs, and yes, listening to valuable podcasts like this one. And his perspective on cost versus value is crucial again here. A $30 book or a $1,000 course might seem expensive initially.
But the return on investment can be huge.
Right. If you gain a 100-fold return on value, the investment is essentially free. This relentless curiosity, this commitment to outlearning everyone around you, that, in his view, is a genuine game changer.
It's about lifelong learning as a core value.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So ultimately, Sharma is challenging you, to move beyond what he calls the cult of average and become a game changer. He uses this powerful metaphor from Michelangelo. Remember the story?
With the statue of David.
Yeah. Presented with this discarded, flawed block of marble, Michelangelo didn't see an obstacle. He saw David within it. He then simply chipped away at everything in the marble that was not of David. He famously said, "I saw the angel in the marble and I chipped away that was not the angel."
That's such a great analogy for personal transformation.
Isn't it? Chipping away what doesn't serve your highest self to reveal the masterpiece that's already within. He outlines 6 core mindsets for game changers. Briefly, they include holding yourself to be BIW best in the world. Not arrogantly, but a commitment to mastery.
Okay. BIW.
Then TMC, total craft mastery. Constantly refining your skills. He urges ABD, always be daring. Because the comfort zone, way more dangerous than disappointment.
Uncomfortable. ABD.
You must LBE, lead by example, like Gandhi said, be the change. Your life reflects your psychology. And finally, ABD, always be delivering outrageous value, countering that scarcity mindset, give more.
BIW, TMC, ABD, LBE, ABDUV.
Got it. Beyond those mindsets, he highlights the 3 daily routines of game changers. First is the morning routine. We covered that with the 5 a.m. Club, the 20-20-20. Priming yourself intellectually, emotionally, physically, spiritually.
The foundation.
Then there's the 9-9-01 rule. For the first 90 days, dedicate the first 90 minutes of your workday solely to your single #1 opportunity. No email, no distractions, just focused, high-energy work on the thing that matters most.
90 minutes. 90 days, one thing, intense focus. And it's crucial to remember, a Sharma really hammers home, becoming a game changer isn't about being naturally gifted. He argues that genius, it has less to do with natural talent and more to do with relentless focus, extreme practice, and just uncommon grit.
Right, it's earned.
Absolutely. He points to Bill Bradley, the NBA player.
Right.
Wasn't naturally gifted, apparently, but he devised this incredibly disciplined practice regimen for years. Like 3.5 hours after school, 8-hour Saturday, 3.5 Sunday, wearing weights on his feet, even practicing dribbling in a ship's corridor on vacation.
Wow, that's commitment.
It's that daily devotion, that mastery, that creates the genius. And of course, humanitarians like Mother Teresa also exemplify this relentless dedication. These principles aren't just for business. They apply anywhere you want to make a real impact.
That's a great point. It applies across fields. And the third daily routine is the nightly 3. Before sleep, take 2 minutes. Reflect. What 3 good things happened to me today? Even on the toughest days, train your brain to look for the good. A stranger's smile, a small win. It helps end the day positively.
Simple but effective. Gratitude.
Yeah, he says gratitude is the antidote to stress, releasing dopamine and serotonin. He also touches quickly on the 4 magical words of game changers: originality, authenticity, brilliance, and humanity. He champions originality. We're born geniuses, but society often programs us toward mediocrity.
Fight the programming.
And authenticity, living your power, honoring who you're meant to be. Like Oscar Wilde said, be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
Love that quote.
So our deep dive into Robin Sharma's The World Changers Manifesto, it's taken us on quite a journey, hasn't it?
It really has. Lots to unpack.
We've explored that call to reclaim our innate greatness, confronted fear through stories like Niki Lauda's, discovered habits like the 5 a.m. Club and the 20-20-20. We learned about the 7,000 Ferraris philosophy for focus, the vital importance of our social networks, and embracing that game-changer mindset through discipline and commitment.
A comprehensive blueprint, really.
Yeah. And this isn't just a collection of abstract ideas, right? It's a playbook. Actionable principles for turning your potential into reality, leading an extraordinary life. It's about moving from just thinking about it to actually creating it.
From contemplation to creation.
Nice. So here's a final thought for you to ponder. If, as Sharma suggests indirectly, the song I'm meant to sing remains unsung is the ultimate regret, what one small, maybe audacious step will you take this week to begin performing your unique composition for the world?